What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Namra podcast. It's Russ, Taylor, and Justin here to talk to you today about the many platforms that you have available to you and how to best create and repurpose content across those platforms.
All right, so today what I wanted to talk about, I got a really interesting question. I'm doing some like pro bono stuff, just consulting for an association and a board, and they asked like a really good question. They're not marketing experts, but they know their business really well, and someone told them that for every single platform, you need to do something totally unique, something totally different. So, for example, she said to me, she's like, well, I heard that Instagram just needs to be pictures with short captions, and Facebook and YouTube need to be just long format video with longer captions. And that's a very common, like, you've gotten something like that before, right? So the answer to that is, ideally, you will have each platform represent whatever you want it to. You can have just if you're a wedding photographer, all of your photo content can be on Instagram like a portfolio if you want, and you can do whatever the hell you want on Facebook. These platforms are malleable that way. But if you're using like trying to be perfect on each platform as an excuse not to post, that's a bad thing to do. If you're creating content, just get it out on all these platforms, and that's fine. There's just some certain best practices that you can use and implement that I basically told her that will kind of get you across the goal line and get you moving forward. So like, what are some like key things that you try to do when you look at repurposing content for Facebook versus, Instagram?
Well, I think like you said, first acknowledging the fact that on these platforms nowadays, like maybe 5-10 years ago, like Instagram pictures, Facebook videos, whatever. But now they're all, like you said, very malleable. They all allow you to post pictures, short videos, long videos, because they're all competing against each other. And if one comes out with a great new feature, like TikTok comes out with vertical video and makes that huge, Instagram, YouTube, soon to follow with Reels and Shorts. So keeping that in mind, that in modern days, like they're all video oriented, but
they all do the same things.
Pictures. They all basically
Instagram's got stories now, and that used to just be Snapchat, right? They stole that from Snapchat, and then Instagram stole IG Reels from TikTok, who had been trying, and TikTok stole it from Instagram because Instagram had IGTV and what was it called? IGTV and IG like live. And so TikTok was like, oh, we can do vertical video too. And boom, that got real popular. And then they were like, oh, we changed it slightly. And now it's just it's a copycat industry. You know what I mean? Copycat league. So they're all doing very similar things. And the good thing is, if you know how to change up your aspect ratios, like the sizing of your videos and the features and the ways to post, you can take one good video idea, turn it into a story on Instagram, convert it a little bit and turn it into a reel in a TikTok, and then reformat it and use it for long form video on Instagram or on Facebook and on YouTube. And that's like one piece of video content. If you just tweak it and move it around a little bit, you can repurpose it across all these platforms and have a really good content mix. You don't have to create one new idea or come up with a new video topic for each platform. That's just overwhelming, too much. It's just unnecessary. And if that were the bar, no one would do it. Like 99% of people would just be like, oh, I'm not doing that.
Only
it's
huge businesses
would
have the bandwidth to pull that off. And that's the main thing, is that you have the ability now to focus much more on the video content itself and the information that you're putting out. And that's more what you should be worried about in terms of strategy than like, what's my Instagram calendar? What's my Facebook calendar? What's my YouTube calendar? You don't need a calendar for each platform. It's just, what information am I trying to get out there? And then from there, you build typically a long form video to start. Like that's the foundational piece, like a 20-minute monologue about a certain topic. Take that monologue, record it, make yourself look professional, good lighting, all that. And then you have 20 minutes. You have one full 20-minute video, and you have potentially 20 different bullet points throughout that video that you can break into shorter reels, TikToks, everything like you said, vertical exports and shorter clips. So right there you have a month worth of posts if you're posting almost every day, like 20 good videos.
And you're reaching multiple target audiences at that point, right? You're posting Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. You have all these people, like your inner sphere is probably going to see a majority of them, but then you have all the people because of TikTok that brought in Instagram, Facebook. So multiple different targets too.
And we've talked about repurposing content at length in past podcasts and past episodes, but I think it makes a lot of sense once you start doing that right and you have a good nucleus or like foundation to your content. Then from there, once you get comfortable, you get into a rhythm. Then you can do some different things on niche platforms like LinkedIn and TikTok. Like TikTok and LinkedIn are like mirror reflections. They're just total opposites. One is so specifically for sales and business, and then one is so not for that, and it's basically a bunch of businesses trying to like blend in, like subtly sell. So you could have your nucleus of content, that major stuff, and then create one video that specifically just goes on TikTok that's like a funny sound, and maybe that doesn't really fit into LinkedIn, so you exclude it, and that's fine. And then maybe there's one thing on LinkedIn that would be super friggin' boring and you don't put on TikTok, but brings a lot of value to people on LinkedIn. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's kind of, you start from square one, you build up, make sure that it's a manageable, reasonable goal, and then you kind of expand from there, tweak it from there.
Yep.
So that's just one question that came up this week that I thought was like a really good topic to cover. Did I miss anything on that, or did we miss anything on that?
No, I don't think so. My only other thing was going to be just like technically speaking, like what to think about when you shoot a reel. And I think a common mistake that you could make is like, oh, now that video is vertical, I'm going to turn my camera to the side and shoot everything vertically, which you can do if you're really doing like a real shoot that day, like a real REL. But what I do, like when we do our podcast, is we go horizontal. We leave enough room where the entire subject is going to be able to be exported vertically as well in that horizontal shot. But that way we can edit both the long form video horizontally for YouTube and pull reels out of, and shooting in 4K kind of makes a difference there because you can zoom in and hold all of the resolution for a super high quality reel from that 4K.
you gotta shoot in 4K, especially in 2022, man. Like it's a big difference. It's a big difference. Like maybe 5 years ago it wasn't a big difference because a lot of these platforms couldn't support it, but now it's separating the boys from
streaming supports it.
5G. Everyone has 5G now locally.
So I mean, seriously, if you're not shooting 4K, you're very much limiting yourself at this point. So
yeah, definitely. And then the other thing, I guess, from a technical side, which is good to bring up, is exporting like different thumbnails and things like that. So for IG Reels and TikTok, it's super important to like have something that captures the essence of the video in the first first second of the video. Have some writing in there, have something, because when people scroll through your platform or your profile, it's going to be like a display or portfolio of your work. Instagram, or just if it's an Instagram TV video or a Facebook video, you might be able to get away with that. It auto plays, but other than that, that's kind of the expectation now. You have to keep up with what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think a good reference video maybe you could put into the edit. I sent one of you guys. It was one of Mr. Beast's editor. Was it you that I sent this to, or maybe you sent it to me? And it's crazy. It's a really interesting video to watch. But he says he puts, I think it's like 300 cuts or just things that make your brain go, oh, within the first like 15 seconds. Whether it's a cut, a caption, a transition, a camera movement, something that he's doing in the first 15 seconds, every half a second is keeping you engaged. So technical things like that go super, super far if you understand the psychology of your audience.
Yeah, and the platform itself. Like on YouTube, they count a 10-second video view as one view. So it's like, we got to get these guys to 10 seconds. How can we get them to 10 seconds?
And that 10 seconds is a long time on a timeline.
Exactly. So it's like how to use that on each platform the right way. So that's good. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Do we want to touch on like the steps of pre-production and post-production, where we're going to go there next?
As far as pre-production go, were you talking about basically when you're laying out these ideas, laying out those bullet points where it's like, okay, this is going to be the whole video, and then make sure you have like almost time-stamped ideas of where I'm going with this. And it's like, okay, if this is going to be 10 minutes at the 2-minute mark, or like after the intro, this is going to be one IG. What were you thinking?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could do it two ways, right? Like you could just set up the basic idea of your video, whether it's going to be, whatever, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. Create the video and then cut it down from there. That's one strategy. But a second strategy could be, you know, if you know that you want to be able to post for the next 6 months and you know you want to post once a day, five days a week without the weekends, add up all the math, figure it out, and then strategize in a way that, okay, like, you know, we can create this one overarching video, but maybe I hit 15 different topics in that video. There you go. That's 15 different main overarching points. Maybe you dive deeper into the one of the 15. Oh, well, now I can dive into 3 different topics off that one topic. So now you have 3 for every one of the 15. So they multiply and multiply. So that's like a really creative way to start the snowball effect rather than just doing one and repurposing that. Putting a little bit of technical strategy into it ahead of time pays off.
Yeah, it's that putting in the effort up front. You get out what you put in, you know, so I think that's really good to know.
To add to that too, that's the beauty of social media in general is you can see the analytics there and you can see which topic gained the most views. Maybe that's what people are more interested in. So that's what you focus on elaborating more on in the next video.
And I think that's a perfect segue into the next topic of just like storytelling in general. But we'll save that for next episode, right? Or are we going to we'll talk about that next episode?
Yeah. We'll do storytelling next.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So as far as next thing I wanted to talk about were just like some quick tools or updates or whatever. One thing I wanted people to know about was we were talking about Google My Business switching over. They deleted the mobile platform. So this is a little bit niche and specific, but now pretty much everything's moved over to Google Maps. So if you actually definitely have Google Maps on your phone now as a business owner or a marketer, because now you can go get everything from your messages, from your Google business listing to update your hours, things like that.
On Maps?
Yeah, on Maps.
Damn.
Now. Exactly.
Wow.
I know. Yeah, you wouldn't know. Like, people don't realize that. But make sure you have your messaging turned on. Make sure you have your calls, call monitoring turned on, because that's what they're using now. So, yeah, Google Maps is huge. And that's just one thing to keep an eye out for. Been using it a lot lately. A lot of notifications on Google Maps, which is kind of weird.
Cool. That's good to know.
Yeah.
What do you think that says about the platform and like where it's going? I think they're trying to make it more user friendly so that business owners know that this is like an actual resource for them, because it's like now it's unavoidable.
Well,
once you go on Maps, you see your business, and
it's an industry trend. Like, does anyone here use IGTV as an app?
There's an app for that?
IGTV. No one uses that.
Right.
It's built. So it's like, I think they build these things out and then consolidate them into something with more bandwidth. So they want to consolidate. Like, Google has such a huge suite of different apps, from Google Photos to Google Drive. And then outside of Google Drive is Docs, Sheets, a presentation. Like, they have all, they need to consolidate everything. And I think that's what they're trying to do, because I love the Google business app itself, but I don't think I'm a very rare person. I run a marketing agency. Not everyone was doing there. So I think they're just trying to consolidate everything down into some of those more popular apps.
But I agree. How many people did we talk to? I mean, it's still today. People are like, "What is my Google My Business page?"
Exactly.
And they don't even know that exists. So maybe now people will actually be like, "Oh, I can claim my own business and I can actually start posting."
Yeah, there's a function to it, not just for it to just be there.
Yeah.
So that's good.
It was like I thought taxes came out automatically. I thought my Google business location just did it automatically.
Right,
it's like, no, it's not automatic.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think that's a good thing for like
businesses.
And it's a differentiator too, like for as far as the app goes, because like who uses Google Maps? Because everybody has Apple Maps, right?
Yeah.
Or Android Maps.
That's true. I use Google Maps. I'm a big Google
Maps
guy. Yeah, that's like one of the. It's like Waze, Apple, Google Maps. Google Maps. Like,
I knew those were the top 3, but I just
like,
use whatever's there.
Yeah, it is. It makes it way easier on your phone. And that's another they're all competing for like
that's
the same
thing,
space.
gives them an edge. So
yeah, it does. It is. One more thing.
Cool.
Yeah. Because actually, so one more thing to get kind of boring, but Apple has Apple Business too. Like Apple.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah. So like that's if you type in like Namra Consulting onto Apple Maps, will pop up because I set it up through their business manager.
Oh,
so businesses have to go on.
So that's how it shows up.
Yeah, that's how it shows up. So it's
not like taxes. It just doesn't.
No, it doesn't get done. You got to do it on your own. So it's the same thing. They're always competing.
Nice.
But yeah, that was mine. Did you have one that you wanted to talk about?
Tool of the trade.
Yeah.
So I guess my tool of the trade is going to be Tave. So that's like my nucleus to my business, right? So in Tave, it's a software that you can download, or it's a website. They have different plans. I think I pay like $20 a month for it. It's definitely worth it though. So imagine like QuickBooks, Gmail, your calendar, and imagine like an app that automated all of those to work cohesively and send out emails during certain points of your process.
Yep.
That's what Tave is.
It's a CRM, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know what a CRM is. It's like client relationship management tool. It's
That's
for sales and everything else. Yeah.
I didn't know the acronym,
Yeah,
but
yep,
yes,
CRM.
yes, it is. It's something like that. But yeah, it's really great. So instead of having to go like QuickBooks and 5 different apps and consolidate it all at the end of the year for taxes and all that stuff, you can create a workflow. So say like for me, if I have a wedding client come in and they send me an inquiry, I could have Tave send them an email automatically on my behalf saying, let's schedule a meeting. They can schedule a meeting and it gets put right into my calendar. And then from there we have the meeting, and then it's like there's a step-by-step process that is automated throughout. You can do contracts. You can do literally almost everything.
Yeah.
In that.
HubSpot is the one that I use.
Yep. Yep. There's a lot out
big.
there.
Yep. HubSpot, and then Salesforce is like the industry leader. But yeah, any CRM is awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of times they'll be niche like specific. So like in wedding photography, there's one. In real estate, there's another.
Yep.
Insurance, so there are a lot of those niche ones. HubSpot, the one that we use, is like more generalized for any really. It's professional services, big software system. But yeah, that's good.
It was a good PSA to like, because there could be a
Get a
solopreneur out there who's like doing everything individually, don't even know that like you can consolidate.
Dude, when I started, I used to do my contracts and keep track of all my wedding clients and all of their money on Google Sheets and Google Docs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would just have like loose documents everywhere. I was like, man, I got to find a better way to do this. And now I barely spend any time on the front end doing that.
Yeah, it's a huge.
It frees up a lot of time for me to actually have meetings, do networking, try to promote my business. So
yeah, buy your time back.
Yep.
$20 a month.
That's it. It's worth it, man. It's a cheap investment and it pays off.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. All right, so let's get into some examples, some marketing examples.
Yeah,
just some fun stuff we saw this past week. Let's see which one's first. Okay, this is one I actually sent to Justin. So this is for those of you listening. We're just looking at an Instagram video for a certain billboard company. We can blur that out. But I thought it was just funny because first off, there's no sound in the background, and it just says digital billboard ads as low as $10 a day, and they're advertising this on Instagram. So it's like, I think that's pretty funny. You're running a paid social media ad campaign to sell billboards,
and they're using a social media trend too, like the sign guy.
Yep, the sign guy.
That's
exactly.
all
so
internet
it's
stuff.
actually a good ad.
It's
but
a great
the
ad.
product
for
is
billboards.
for billboards, which is like really funny. I've seen like USPS do this too, and it's just.
I mean, it's just so funny,
hilarious that a
and
billboard.
You know
company,
what's sad? Someone's buying that billboard.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was actually just looking at one of the comments that was back on the last video, and somebody commented, I spent like money and I sat here for 8 hours and I didn't see my thing come up on the billboard once.
No way. Are you serious?
I just saw it. I swear to
really?
God, if you hit back, you probably show up.
I mean, billboards starting at $10 a day, that means it's an electronic screen and you probably flash for 15 seconds a day.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
and
you buy
and
your
they just
spot.
charge
right.
150 businesses for that.
Listen.
You know what I mean?
It's nuts.
Where is it?
It's a smart business model if you're going to own billboards, but I don't know if it's the best thing to buy if you're looking to market your business.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's see if we can go on there. I did the blip thing for one billboard just to see, and guess what? Oh no!
Yeah.
That's the
Sat at that billboard.
Listen,
Did they
for
respond
hours.
back?
The nightmare customer for that company. Someone who sits there for hours waiting.
the one good thing about a billboard is no one
They're
can
like,
leave
dude,
it.
no one's gonna sit there and watch.
The one good thing about billboards is no one can leave shitty comments underneath. your
Yeah,
billboard.
that's
That's
true.
the one
That is
thing.
true.
That's
All right,
true.
So that's funny. So that was mine. I thought
What
it was
else?
fucking hilarious.
I've called many times.
All right. What else we got?
that's
Justin, this is you, right?
Oh yeah, this one's me.
All right. So what is it? Give me a quick synopsis of this.
So this is like the typical marketing video. Yeah, you'll figure it out. So this is a comedy video, and this is basically a spoof, a parody of like what everybody thinks like the typical best ads video is.
Okay.
This is like a typical marketing video.
Okay. Fun.
We think first of vague words that are synonyms for progress and pair them with footage of a high-speed train especially in India. See how we're part of the global economy? Look at those farmers in China. But we also do business in the USA.
That's awesome.
What do you think we do? Check out this wind energy thing in Indiana. And this blue collar guy with also, we care about the environment loosely. Here's some powerful rushing water and people planting trees. Our policies could be related to these panoramic views of Costa Rica.
That's fucking.
Today's high-speed environment, stop motion footage of the city at night. Makes you think about doing things efficiently and time passing. Lest you think we're a faceless entity, look at all these attractive people.
Straight calling out all these corporations.
It's so good.
In close-ups of hands passing canned goods to each other in a setting that evokes community service. Equality, innovation, honesty, and advancement are all words we choose from a list. Our prophets are all inspiring, like this guy who's looking up and pointing at a skyscraper or a kite while smiling and explaining something to his child. Using a specific ratio of Asian people to black people to women to white men. We want to make sure we represent your needs and interests.
Dude, they hit every point in this
First
video.
one, skin color in our hats. Did we put a baby in here? What about an ethnic old man whose wrinkled smile represents the happiness and wisdom of the people?
That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
Wow. That's so
Hats
good.
off to Dissolve, man. That was
entirely
good.
stock
Wow,
footage.
that's fucking fantastic.
That's very good.
All right,
Dude,
Love
when I
that.
found that,
You
that
can
had
send
me
me that.
How much is
rolling.
what do they charge a month? That's a great. That's
That is such
free
a good
ad for
one.
Dissolve. That's great. That is some funny shit. Oh my god, we gotta repost that.
Ah,
Yeah,
man,
it's
the
awesome.
fact, my favorite part was that they touched on every single,
Yeah, they just kept going. Right when you think they're
Yeah,
done, it's like,
dude.
and then this and this.
like the
Yeah, it's
list.
so
They told the story backwards. I bet you that's how they did it. It was like, all right, editor, put together sick like B-roll footage, and then it's like just and then it's just like,
And then
what
we'll
can
tell
we
the
say?
story
Yeah,
of it, yeah.
that's actually a wicked good idea. That would
funny.
be funny. I kind of want to do that now.
That's probably how they did it.
innovation from a list.
Yeah, the words you chose. Oh my god, that is so funny. We care about the environment
Loosely.
Yeah. Okay, that good one, Justin.
Yeah,
Nice.
thanks,
That
guys. Yeah, that was a good one.
That was brilliant.
So mine is
Hold on. Where did you see that?
Oh man, I was like going on a binge trying to find content for our podcast, and I have
Oh,
a
really?
whole channel full of this shit
Awesome.
right now. Yeah.
That's fantastic. That was really good.
Mine is one that you probably heard of. Like, I remember hearing about this in college, but it's Payless Shoes when they set up a Palesi store, which is just like a totally fake high-end
Oh, really?
storefront. And they started selling Payless shoes for like $700. And a bunch of people bought it.
Dumbasses.
Bought all of it.
Pay less. Use.
Original price $34.95, sold for $600.
Hold on. All right, I got this right here. I'll put it up.
Yeah.
And the rich folk probably thought it was a steal too.
And they loved it, and they were talking all about it.
A fake luxury store in Los Angeles and filled it with Payless shoes. The guests at our grand opening party had no idea.
They're elegant, sophisticated.
I just think it's so classy.
And I can tell it was made of high quality material.
These fashionistas actually paid $200, $400, and even $600 for Payless shoes. But you
They're all
can get these same
ugly.
shoes at Payless for $19.99 or lower with our epic holiday deals. Why pay more when you can pay less?
I mean,
That was
that's
awesome.
so good.
That's
That is
so
the
good.
best
Oh yeah.
display of branding.
Yeah.
And like, that's every marketing lesson we could ever give you is in that 30 seconds. So
Okay.
good.
When they found out, they got so mad. I remember I saw that video of them finding out after.
So embarrassing.
Love it.
Yeah, right.
love that stuff,
Such an ego hit.
All right. Well, that's it. That was going, boys.
All right, cool.
Great.
Till next time.
Thanks for listening, guys. See you next time.